And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the next GeoGebra live session here. My name is Tim. Thanks for joining us. Joining me over here on my left, whoops, wrong direction. On the left here is Monique Zhao.
Hi.
She's our lead curriculum designer. And over here on the right is Gabor Unchin.
Hello.
He's one of our GeoGebra developers. And Gabor, can you tell us what you do with GeoGebra? Like, what part of the development are you working behind the scenes on?
Yeah, of course. So it's very nice to be with you together, guys, because you are the reason why we are doing all stuff. And yeah, so I am working on the website team, which means I am doing the website, which we will see soon. And I think I am almost the oldest member of the community. So I think I'm working for GeoGebra, I think almost 10 years. So I can tell all stories.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No, you guys do amazing work. And, you know, we want to use these GeoGebra live sessions to get the community to meet the developers who are working behind the scenes. Because, yeah, you see a lot of Monique and me, but it's just like we want people to see more of who works behind the scenes. So 2 weeks ago, we had Spinyak on. And so thank you so much for taking time. I know it's, 8 o'clock at night in Austria right now. Big time difference, but GeoGebra never sleeps. That's the thing. So, but we're gonna try to keep it quick and respect time for people. But we're gonna, show off at least 2 new features today, or updates really. And Gabor is gonna kind of walk me through it. All right. So before I share my screen, I know that lots of teachers, Gabor, have been asking. You know what? In remote learning and in hybrid learning, right? I just want to create some whiteboards. But I want to make it my own. I want to put my own touch on it, and then like I can make a GeoGebra class, and then have my kids join, and I see their work in real time. But I don't know how to do the first part. How do I actually make my own activity with a few whiteboard apps that kids could play on? Can you walk us through that, please?
Yeah, of course. Let's see then.
Thank you. I'm going to share my screen now. So. Can you see Monique? Can you see my screen here?
Yep.
Awesome. So, I mean, I look at this and I get like, holy moly, there's a lot here. Where do I go?
Yeah. So this is the part of the GeoGebra which I am working on with my team. So this is the website, and here is your welcome page. But which is you really like to see is your profile. So your profile is really important right now if you like to create some activities and some new stuffs. So let's click on there maybe.
And I could also click on a picture or letter up here too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you can also do that. So.
Okay. So let me just get out of the big screen mode. I apologize. My computer's a little slow. All right. So I'm on my profile. Now what?
Yeah. And you see now, team, that it is something like building the airplane and driving the airplane. So I'm building the airplane, but you can better drive the airplane than me. But let's try this together. So let's create a material then with the create button.
Create there. Got it. So create.
Yeah, exactly. And you see that you can create folders, books, and activities here, but let's go for activities now.
Got
it. Activities which are basically containing our good old GeoGebra files.
Gotcha. All right, so I'll go to activity here. So this is kind of like a brand new Google Doc or a brand new Google Sheet. Like I have to put stuff in it now. Okay.
Yeah, and I will share you a secret here, because we plan to add the Notes app more prominent here. So we'll add this just next to the question element, but it is not ready yet. But it will come soon. So if you add now a title, then you go to GeoGebra.
So insert GeoGebra. Got it.
Yeah,
so
insert GeoGebra element.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then here you can create an applet, which means a new one.
Okay, so let me do that.
Yeah, and here you can find the notes, which is our smartboard software basically, and this will be make easier for you. So it will be one click soon. You just have to click notes, but you can now do that. So add some notes applet.
Okay, so here's what. Now I got that. Now here's where I guess I get confused. I can take this and just add to it, right? Like as a teacher, like I'm just going to role play the teacher and say, I want to give my students an equation to solve first thing. So I can go to the paperclip here, right? I'll go to the paperclip and click on equation, right? Right there.
Yeah,
And I'll
exactly.
just click in here, and I could say, let me just put an equation there. Let's say 2x minus, sorry, 2x minus 3 equals, I don't say -4, open parentheses, 4x plus 2, right? I'll zoom out there. Now, could I make that bigger if I wanted to? Could I take that and make it bigger? Would it be in
Yeah,
here?
of course you can, if you like. I mean, the equation you can drag, but this is the part of which I am not working on. So this
Okay.
is the apps part. So I think
Gotcha.
you know better than me because
No.
yeah, because this is the part which we only embed something like YouTube videos. It's something similar like that. So we are working the stuff which are getting this happen, but the applet itself is a different story. And honestly,
Okay.
a long time ago, I have not worked with that.
Okay. But I can put my directions up here, right? I could say, hey, solve the
Exactly.
following. All right. So let's actually try that. Let's say solve the following equation.
Equation.
Be sure to show your steps, right? Something looks like something like that, you mean?
Yeah, and if you like to still hack something more things, then you can just go to the settings down there, and you not there, yeah, the advanced settings, and you
Okay.
can also settings here if you really like. But it's more better for other applets than for notes.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah. So I have to hit done here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is going to be what my students see. When I save this activity, you're saying, and then my students come into class the next day, that'll be the first task they'll have to do. Right?
Exactly.
So let me ask you this question. I'm gonna try to pick your brain here. I want to throw another whiteboard in there. So you said add element, you said add GeoGebra, create notes, right? But now what I want to do is I want to get the grid back here. So
of course.
Yeah, so let me just try this, like, because I know a lot of teachers love to just back before COVID and everybody was in school. They used to pass out these little little whiteboards with little markers, and they have kids sketch graphs and hold them up so they could see it, right? But let me just see if I were to do this, I get some graph background and I could show my axes here, I'm guessing. So I might be able to go ahead here and hit done.
Exactly. It's much better.
Yeah, oh, that's nice. And I can actually type in my own directions here and say and ask students to say sketch the graph of an even function that has f of, let's call the function f maybe, that has f of -3 equal 2, and let's say f of 5 equals 0. Right. So again, another warm-up question that I'll be able to see what they're doing in real time with Classroom. Right. That's awesome. So I hit done. So this is how I just add whiteboards. I can either just add blank ones, or I could fill them up with exactly what I want, is what you're saying, right?
Exactly. So if you save that, then you will find it in your profile.
So save and close. Save it. Okay. So saving. That's exactly where it goes. I mean, people like, where's a Google Doc go? Like, oh, so I go back to my profile here, right? This is like my Google Drive, I guess, right? And
yeah,
then,
exactly.
All right. So you see this activity here. It says warm up for. If I click on that, that's what my students will see, and they can actually. So the students themselves can actually go ahead and here.
Of course, they can edit as they like.
That's cool, and they could actually work visually, or they could use the pen and start solving. Basically, that's awesome. You know, if I do that right, yeah. So then so you, the teacher, will see the work in real time. If I were to go ahead up here, you're saying, and hit create class and have students join.
Exactly.
Got it. And even doodling here, this acts just like a whiteboard there, where you can actually.
Yeah, of course, they can use it as they want, and even I think can make it full screen.
That's awesome. Oh, how do I make this full screen, by the way?
I think on the yeah, that one.
So that if you hit that bottom corner there, it makes it full screen.
Hopefully that should work.
Let's see. My computer's a little slow here today, but nice. So now I can go ahead and just, I know I'm doing the problem wrong, but I could try to
Yeah,
sketch what looks
exactly.
like an even function, right? Kind of, whoa, like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so no one
Cool.
disturbing you to doing this activity anymore.
There you go, right? So that's how we do it. So every time I want to go back to anything I create, it's always you're saying in my profile.
Yeah, it is in your profile.
Awesome. So
Yeah. So I dropped a link down in the comments so everyone can kind of check out what it looks like in the student view, and even they can make a copy of that activity and edit it themselves and use it in their class.
that's cool. Oh, sorry, Monique, I took thing off. But no, Monique, can you actually explain with respect to IM? Like, I know you're leading the illustrative mathematics curriculum project, and I know a lot of teachers are really liking what they see there. How is this new notes feature? Are you going to include that in like revising the 6th-day curriculum and in the high school curriculum you're working on? Like, what's the story there?
Yeah, since being able to embed a notes applet into the activity is fairly new for us, we are making strides to basically include these collaborative whiteboards into the IM activities. So you'll start to see that coming out soon.
That's awesome. So, so Gabor, I wanted to ask you, even I know you're working on the website team, but you guys work with GeoGebra Notes a lot, and so I realize my screen, but let me just share my screen again. So I did have a question for you, Gabor. I wonder if you can help me out here. Let me just share quickly, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to share, and I'll hop out of here. All right, thanks, Monique, for taking over there. So I know that GeoGebra Notes, when I embed it in, when I include it in an activity, it's only a single page, right? But if I were to go here and just use GeoGebra Notes, like the app itself, you know what I mean? Like right over here on the right side.
Yeah, of course. So this opens the apps itself, and this means you get a full screen Notes app, and here you can do as you want. It's really easy to make some whiteboard or mathematical stuffs here.
Okay, so I'm going to actually save all the prep here, but I do have a notes app that I have pre-made, but I want to add to it, and I'll show you what I mean. So this is an example of a problem that we've been kind of giving openmiddle a lot of love here at GeoGebra here. But let me just make this bigger so people can see it. Right, openmiddle is a great resource for math teachers in terms of increasing the level, the depth of knowledge level of activities like say in class. But look at a problem like this, right? Like using the digits 1 to 9 at most one time each. Let's fill in those boxes so that the points make a parallelogram, right? Now, something like this, it's actually harder than it looks because you can't keep a segment horizontal because it'll have the same y coordinate, right? You have to have different digits for all 8 there. So what I actually did a little while ago is I actually took and I actually made a GeoGebra activity, and I made like a digital version of that. But Gabor, what I really would love to do is to take this GeoGebra app, classic app here, and I want to embed this app right in this notes file.
Yeah, so it is really possible because you can just you have to just copy the URL and then you can insert basically here as a applet, as a new applet inside applet.
Okay, but there's something even better though. GeoGebra does here a notes app that won't happen in any other site, and I think it's really important. I think we have people see this. So you're saying if I have an app here, I can embed it in GeoGebra Notes by copying that URL, right?
Yeah, hopefully
it
will work.
Let's see. I'm going to put it to the test. So I go here, and now what? Go to I want to.
Probably the paperclip is where you add new elements.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm assuming it's web.
Yeah, it's web element, and let's see.
And look at us. I can do audio files, PDFs. We have to have some GeoGebra
Notes.
Everything
which you like, it's possible to
add.
add.
So I'll paste that baby in there, and let's insert it and see what happens.
Wow.
Dang, that's cool.
There.
But you know what though? Here's my question. Let me actually take this. I can embed it where I want. I can squish it.
Yeah, exactly. You can format it as you like, and you can even use it.
That's awesome. And I got that from another place on GeoGebra, but there it is, right? So just like this. But now here's the part that amazes me. Now I could save this, but I want to actually change this up a little bit.
Mhm.
Like when I found this app over here, if I were to embed this on a Google site or in OneNote or again any other platform, if I were to
Mhm.
embed this external link here, it's always going to refresh looking like this. That any work I do, if I bring this down here, if I refresh it, it's always going to come back looking like the way it was, right? But in GeoGebra Notes, though, I want to change this up a little bit.
Mhm.
Let's actually make it look like a rectangle. Okay. So Gabor, this looks different now than the way it does right over here. Right?
Yeah. So just save and see what happens.
All right. This has got to be interesting. So I can go here and I can save it. I'm going to give it the same name. It says saving. Keep my fingers crossed here. Awesome.
And where you can find it, I think you know already.
Oh yeah. So I'm going to copy my URL here, right? I'm going to copy it. And what I'm going to do, Monique, can you stop sharing my screen for a second?
Yep.
All right. So I want to go back here and give it to everybody who's watching right now. Let's see if the URL that you get is the same as how I left it. So check this open little problem out. Let's see. I'm going to drop it right now to everybody on social media. Here it comes. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. All right. So if you're on a computer, you want to actually open up that URL that I just put in there. Facebook didn't work. Hang on a second. Let's try it again. All right. That worked that time, I think, for Facebook. But if you open up that URL, right, you'll notice that. All right, Monique, if you could go ahead and share my screen again, please. When you open up that GeoGebra Notes file, it does not leave it looking the way, this is the way the original file looks like right here. But in GeoGebra Notes, if all of you open it up right now, it should look just like this.
Yeah, exactly. So it saved the state.
That's so cool. But teachers, think of the implications here for asynchronous learning now. Like if you wanted your kids to work on this independently, you could give your students this URL. They open it in Notes, and as long as you double click on the app, right, you can move stuff in here and do whatever, right? But and if the student saves it, it's like making a copy for them, but it's their work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I can actually go ahead and I could put Graspable Math in there. I didn't mean to do that. But let me just,
of course, as you wish.
That's a great app too. I love it. But I could go ahead and have a conversation and just start circling things and saying, wait a minute, no, here. It says here, right? But we can actually, this is literally like digital and whiteboard all in one. And it saves changes that if you embed GeoGebra apps in it, it saves the changes to the apps in Notes. That's so powerful.
Yeah. Can you save that, Tim? And then everyone who's watching can also, as soon as it's saved, refresh and see the new changes.
Sure. Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit save, but I'm going to actually give it a brand new name. I'm going to hit let's say second test here. And I'm going to actually, by calling it something different, it's like a save as. It gives it a brand new file name. Like this URL is going to change right here. It just changed. So I'm going to copy that baby right there. And if you could stop sharing my screen, yep. I will go ahead and drop it into the chat. So see if people can see if it looks like that. Let's see. If you want to take a second and open that one, you should see that pink doodle and all that stuff. So that's like a student in your class who submits you their work on that problem, regardless of the LMS. It could be Moodle, it could be Google Classroom, Schoology. It doesn't matter. The LMS is really irrelevant. What the powerful feature that Gabor wanted you guys to see here is that and if you embed GeoGebra apps into Notes, you make changes to those apps. Those changes will save to your file. It is so amazing. I mean, the comments coming in here are like, you can put it on the screen. They're so cool. So Monique, what about IM? Like anything there that we could just for like another minute or two, because I know we said we keep it short, but
yeah, why don't I
have it because I have want to do the 3D one here? We could try it.
Sure.
All right. Go ahead and let's go ahead and if you screen share one more time.
Here we go. All right. Your screen is loading?
Yep. Yeah, it is. Okay, so now this is from the Illustrative Math Grade 6 curriculum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Squares and cubes. And I think down here, you know, if illustrative math teachers want to take, like, say, this GeoGebra app that IM made, what Gabor is telling me is I could copy that URL. I'll now go to GeoGebra home.
Yeah. And one of the great things about an activity like this one, or this applet in particular, is it's you can really use it in many different contexts, and you can use it for a bunch of different situations. You can write your own problems around it. So Tim is going to add that in, and the SnapCubes activity is really great because you can like write your own problem and have students draw and write work for, you know, say like make a figure that has a volume of 5 cubic units.
Let's see, create a composite solid. Yeah. Or how about we create 2 composite solids with equal volumes, right? And so that, I don't know, the surface area of one.
Both are also the same or something?
Well, that's challenging. We could try that. Or how about we make the surface area of one is at least 5 units squared, 5 square units more than the other. Something like that, right? So we could take that, but see, we do that, and so the students now as a teacher, I can move out cubes beforehand if I want, or I can, you know, again, I am nestled 32 or 64 cubes all stacked together, but you can go ahead and you can play with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save it, and we'll share it with the masses here and see we'll see what we can do. So GeoGebra Live, I'll never delete this file. GeoGebra Live demo 3, save.
All right, and then
save successfully. So now I'm going to take that, gave it a brand new URL. I'm going to copy that, and if you stop sharing my screen, I'll go ahead and throw it in the chat there. Let's see. So the 3D version or spinoff from IM. There it is. Coming to all 3 platforms now. So I just have to ask, Gabor. I really have to ask. I remember when Marcus and Julia did. They facilitated a workshop for in South America on GeoGebra Notes. Marcus made mention of the fact that the team is doing some really cool work on making GeoGebra Notes more collaborative, like Google Slides or Google Docs. Like, could you give us a little more insight about that?
Yeah, of course. So it will be really cool, but it is still top secret stuff.
Yeah.
So
we
will try something like that. So built on our classroom system, which you already saw, this like real-time classroom collaboration system, we will embed these notes in a way that it will be really blow our mind, hopefully. So it will really nicely live and straight communication between the students and groups. So this is our plan, and it hopefully will come soon.
That's awesome. And I know we're not going to ask when, because you ask a developer when, and it's like when could be like, it's so hard because there's so many things.
Should never do that.
Never do. Yeah, no, but that's so great to hear, because imagine a problem like that where you can have 2 or 3 students working simultaneously on that same 3D illustrative math theme task, you know? And I guess what I could do, I'll give it quick. Monique, can you just share my screen just one more time?
Yep.
I think it's right there. But one thing, if you don't know about GeoGebra Notes that you could do, last little thing is that if you want to take this and go to the down here, it has that Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides kind of feel where you can actually, you have pages here. So I'm going to copy this page and I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste it. And now I have, I can actually have, so what Gabor is saying is that imagine having two students work together. One student could work on the first page, the other person works on the second, and they can hop back and forth between each other's work, you know, and talk to each other in this remote or hybrid learning environment, you know. But I guess the possibilities here are really endless with GeoGebra Notes. I mean, I know I see a lot of teachers on social media getting excited about it. They love using it, but right now it's asynchronous and, you know, in one person only, but that's going to change.
Yeah, it's going to change soon, so you will see.
Awesome. Well, I think that's it. If we have any questions, that was what we wanted to show you today in GeoGebra Live here. If you have any stuff you want to, if you want to put them in the chat, feel free. We'll try to end at past for sure. But if we don't see anything, pretty cool. Thank you, Myra. Are you there? I mean, we have people up, and we've had people up in the middle of the night, you know, early in the mornings, whatever. People that watch these, it's fun. So, hello. Yeah. So, cool. But anyway, I don't see anything right here. But I did see something here. Hang on. I see one from, was this one? On the mobile, it looks a bit strange. Font size, etc. Ideas? Any ideas, Gabor?
Yeah, of course, we will. We still have this big support team. So if anything comes out, please just write to us because this is really helpful, and we will fix the bugs and problems as soon as possible. So on mobile, of course, it's still a little bit could be difficult exactly with this notes because that is a big something. So it is a whiteboard software and not small as a mobile, but still we are trying hard. And of course, if you find anything, please just let us know.
Yeah, and the email is I'll put it in the chat here. So
yeah, of course, we have forum and emails and everything, so we will answer for sure.
Yeah, and again, even though the last thing, ladies and gentlemen, you want to hear is, oh, send us an email with the problem at, the community team is on that email like all the time, you know. Now, if you send an email to support@geogebra.org at like say 8 o'clock at night on the Eastern time zone in the U.S., it probably won't get looked because Austria is 6 hours ahead. It's 2 in the morning, but when it's morning time on a weekday, they're on that mailbox like left and like instantly. So that email gets checked many times a day. You can rest assured with that for sure. So, but yeah. So we're almost at half past here, and I think we're good. So Gabor, thank you so much. Monique, thank you.
Thanks,
Tim. Thank you,
Tim.
Tim, and thank you, guys. It was really awesome.
Awesome. Look forward to seeing what you and the development team do here. Actually, we have one more question. Sorry. Last but not least, Miss J. What does she say here? Monique, what is it?
If I edit a GeoGebra activity, will it update live, or do I have to send a new link with a code? Ooh.
That is a great question. I can answer that for you. If you create a GeoGebra class from an activity, okay, then the class, think of it this way: the GeoGebra class is like a tree trunk, okay, and I'm sorry, the GeoGebra activity is like a tree trunk. The class is the branch that stems out of it. All right. If you kill the activity, the class dies because that's where it came from. So if you have editing rights to the original activity and you edit that activity while class is in session, like add a few tasks, add some whiteboards, do whatever. If you tell students to refresh the page, then they will get more tasks in that class. We've tested it out. We've done it many times. It will work for sure.
Yeah. So if you're not sure, just if you edit your own activity, you can go to the classroom, like you can go to the profile, like we've talked about, and just check the link that you can copy and send to your students. If that link has changed, then you'll know that you didn't originally own that activity, and you made a copy of it and had to make a new class for it.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, one more. Nadia says, I tried virtual math teams for collaborative work. Is there any other platform?
No.
Think of, I know that, you know, there are apps that are in development, I think, that have, you know, that GeoGebra can be embedded in. We on the team, we're still even investigating that too. So we are learning right alongside with you. So that's a great question, but definitely if you emailed support there, we could definitely get that there up and running too, for sure. We love hearing that, Mrs. J. Thank you so much. Again, for all the community love out there, thank you for it. I mean, the GeoGebra team is an amazing team. They really are. Gabor, the devs, all the devs, they work really hard behind the scenes, and you're going to slowly get to meet them over the next few weeks as we could keep this thing going on. So, but it's half past the hour, so we'll say goodbye. Thank you, and until next time, we'll see you later.
See you.